Is it God or is it money? I said both. Who say you can't love God and get money? Hey, yeah. I was just doing the scene. Now I am right on your screen. Sitting right next to my queen. She is the girl that I need. She called me Adam Levine. Loved her since I was 19. Finna keep our life clean. Got it, money, our routine. Hey, I was just new on the scene. Now I am right on your screen. Sitting right next to my queen. She is the girl that I need. She called me Adam Levine. Loved her since I was 19. Finna keep our life clean. Got it, money, our routine. Got it, money, our routine. Got it, money, our routine. Got it, money, I said. None of this talk is all favor. She wanna chill, I said later. Told her I'd never betray her. Spending time with my creator. Gotta get this out on paper. Stick to my faith, I don't waver. They calling me a crusader. All this cheese and no greater. Hey, I just don't wanna be average. I'm in my prime with no package. What is the point with no bandage? Temptation always a challenge. Giving but don't know what happened. I cannot believe in balance. Tripping all over these talents. Shout to my homies in Dallas. Stacking this money on palace. I might just call me a palace. I might just call me a being a king is a challenge. Bearing this fruit like I'm Adam. The future I cannot fathom. She think I'm funny and handsome. I'm making moves on a random. That's why I wrote me an album. That's why I wrote me an album. One of these gonna be gold. One of these better be platinum. Wrote this song, it was off the dome. Got this on the throne, take a land we roam. Don't know where you from, but you acting dumb like you made your bed in the catacombs. Trying to rob the crown, better turn around. Go find your soul when there's lost to find. This is holy ground and got the whole city like they high up, but ain't a single pound. I said, I was just doing the scene. Now I am right on your screen. Sitting right next to my queen. She is the girl that I need. She called me Adam Levine. Loved her since I was 19. Finna keep our life clean. Got it, money, our routine. Hey, I was just new on the scene. Now I am right on your screen. Sitting right next to my queen. She is the girl that I need. She called me Adam Levine. Loved her since I was 19. Finna keep our life clean. Got it, money, our routine. Got it, money, our routine. Got it, money, our routine. Got it, money, I said. Check, 1, 2, ayy, check. I don't know if I can rap this shit. Yeah, ayy, yeah. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's poppin'. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just don't let they satin. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stopped treating them nice. I see you looking, I see you watching. Wasn't too long ago, we was just talking. I'm sorry you hate me now, and I don't mean that I'm sorry for me. I'm just sorry for you, cause you won't get to see what a high king can do when he's given the chance to become what he knew he could. Now my shit's popping, oh, and I'm shocking. I'm just from Buffalo, I shouldn't make it. Was right by my auntie, but that woman hated me. Good at pretending for everyone faking it. Now I'm awake and I see why they made the choice to kick me out just as soon as I made the choice. Now I'm a king, yeah, that's the thing. Happens a lot. Fatherless kids, yeah, we come by the lot. Changing shit whether you like it or not. He would come like it or not. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's popping. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just don't let they satin. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stopped treating them nice. Fuck the whole industry, music and media. Started my own shit, I don't think they feeling me. I just don't get it, so fuck it. I'm done with all this luck shit. Y'all think y'all scaring me, so I address it. But now all your niggas is running. All of your mouths is just running. No talent, but your shit is funded. Now all y'all think y'all real funny. Clown flexing with that fake money. Can't buy shit without real shit, so you rent shit cause you real dummy. Just invest in mine like a broker. New money coming soon. Yo, last post got like 50,000, but you can't fill the fucking room. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's popping. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just don't let they satin. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stopped treating them nice. Said we the boys on the south side, yeah, I see you. Mafia up on the north side, yeah, I see you. My blood fam, it's been a while, I wanna see you. My main girl, I thank God I get to see you. My day ones, let's post up, need to see you. To my baby girls, I promise daddy always see you. You all in, well bet, yeah, I'ma see you. Got all that pride, but ain't nobody wanna be you. Yeah, well, gramming up, yeah. Posting a selfie so everyone see you. Well, growing up, yeah. Daddy was flaking so he didn't see you. Well, run it up, yeah. We on the court while you sit in the bleachers. Well, bump it up, yeah. Turn it up more with the drums of the speakers. Drip, drip, got that wet on my wrist, cause we respect women. Honey, she a queen bee and she need me to protect the image. Finna cop a Tesla and a fitted, cause I got that checking with me lately, cause I'm thinking crazy, getting tested. But all of my demons are weak, yeah. In a new state every week, yeah. Make it like Stacey a show. Stacking my Bibles in threes, yeah. Said I'm crazy, I might be. My city stand right behind me. My queen is my Aphrodite. Got the whole fam beside me. We the boys on the south side, yeah, I see you. Mafia up on the north side, yeah, I see you. My blood fam, it's been a while, I wanna see you. My main girl, I thank God I get to see you. My day ones, let's post up, need to see you. To my baby girls, I promise daddy always see you. You all in, well bet, yeah, I'ma see you. Got all that pride, but ain't nobody wanna be you. Yeah, well said, ooh, yeah, wait, well, like Afro Man wrote a coupe de ville, I'm like, ooh, yeah, wait, well, like Sam Crow, but I'm real grim, I'm like, ooh, yeah, wait, well, all this cash flow, but I can't swim, I'm like, ooh, yeah, wait, well, out in Buffalo, let's meet at Tim's and like, New Island, stay coasting, can't find it, stay ghosting, my silence is smoking, outshining the ghosting, headlining the shoulder, reclining my throne, fine dining, you know that, co-signing my flow, I'm the ruler, I'm known, yeah, all of my shooters stay close, yeah. All of my jewelry cold, yeah. All this foolery, oh yeah. Lex Luthor, my role model. One queen and I throw models. Drip wet, so I need goggles. Let me find out what you want. Let me know. I'ma throw you bone and watch you go. You didn't even believe in this dream. You tried it once and then you choke. Cause y'all say sleep and I say woke. Making stacks and y'all still broke. Sipping on that Henny Coke. You laughing, I ain't telling jokes. Said we the boys on the south side, yeah, I see you. Mafia up on the north side, yeah, I see you. My blood fam, it's been a while, I wanna see you. My main girl, I thank God I get to see you. My day ones, let's post up, need to see you. To my baby girls, I promise daddy always see you. You all in, well bet, yeah, I'ma see you. Got all that pride, but ain't nobody wanna be you.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Full normal.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
What's going on, Beaches? Welcome to the Daily Swole podcast. Let's get into it, you motherfuckers. Time to make some sick gains. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Welcome to the Daily Swole episode 3360. It's Friday, July the 18th. And a reminder that today for members, we do have an overtime segment that's only for members. You could join now over at swolenormousx.com. And of course, if you're watching on Rumble, YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And of course, you can catch the Daily Swole on Apple Podcast and Spotify. Leave a 5-star review. If you enjoy the show, let's get into a couple Swole Fam posts today. We actually have a couple email responses. You can go to makeemailswoleagain.com. That's makeemailswoleagain.com. We'll get into the first response, going outside. All right. I'm dropping knowledge cock in the inbox. Go outside, Papa Swole, says Carol. I don't have any nips thanks to breast cancer, but I did get some sun on my eyebrows, if that counts. Well, thank you. Not funny, but thank you for sharing.
As you can see, my nipples have been removed from my body. Where they are, I don't know.
That's the only... Actually, I have a couple nipple soundboards.
I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
Neither one of those is appropriate for breast cancer, so I'm sorry to hear that. But yeah, sun on your eyebrows is good. You can still get sun on the rest of your body. You don't need to have nips to be able to get sun. So I highly recommend you go and get sun. Go and get sun. It matters. It matters. You want to get sun on more than just your eyebrows. And we do know that a lot of times skin cancer, and more evidence comes out that skin cancer actually comes from not getting enough sun oftentimes. And, lots of free radicals and seed oils and all those other types of estrogenics and problems with people's daily lifestyle habits. But thank you for sharing, and I'm sorry to hear about that. Go get some sun on your bum. Get some sun on your stomach. Go get some sun on your chest. Maybe not the nips. Sun the starfish. I like that. All right. Today's Swole card is, I don't have it over here, but it's sick fucking gains. You could drop that in the comments, and we'll give that away at the end of today's episode. Yeah, please don't spam the chat. Eli says, appreciate the realness. You're 100% right. Have a broken toe and I'm just making excuses instead of doing what I can. I'm at the fucking gym this morning. Thanks for the push. And this is in response to the I'm tired of hearing people say this. Don't make excuses. Go to the fucking gym. Let's get after it. Fuck yeah! Good stuff. Good stuff. I do appreciate the humor, though, of course, even if you have breast cancer. You got to keep your head up. You got to keep your head up, and you got to stay positive. Got to stay positive. Today, I'm rocking the notretarded.com merch. We got awesome stuff over there at papaswolio.com. Of course, we got the hats, the special offers. The buy one, get one 50% off ends this weekend. So make sure you go and check that out. And if you're watching on Instagram Live, drop your questions in the comments. We're live on Rumble and YouTube at The Daily Swole. So come on over and catch the full show with all the soundboards and audio and visual mastery. All right, drop your questions in the comments. Let's get into it. First one is from Jimmy Lambert.
What's in the box?
873. Papa Solio, what abs workout do you do? Because I'm putting in at least an hour and a half dedicated to abs and I can't see them. You don't have to train your abs to see your abs. That comes down with nutrition. If you want bigger abs, most people don't want bigger abs. They just want visual. You don't want to have like big, blocky, distended stomach. So yeah, don't overeat, and you don't have to do excessive work for your abs just like any other body part. You don't have to do tons of volume. An hour and a half is absolutely ridiculous for ab work. Just like a couple sets, just weight them like normally. You can do a weighted abdominal machine. You can put a dumbbell behind your head and you can do just full stretch, flexion and extension. You don't need to do tons of crazy stuff. You need to focus more on your nutrition and overall mass. Train your legs, train your upper body, progressively overload. You can't see your abs because you fat, son. Tay Beck 07. Papa Solio, what's the first step to begin your swole journey? Follow the 7 pillars. Go to swolenormousx.com and download the 7 pillars. That's literally the first step. The first step, if you don't know anything about the gym, I mean, even if you've been training for 5, 10, or 20 years and you're joining the Swole fam, that's the first step to get into the Swole circle, to learn what we're all about. So go to swolenormousx.com. It's a free download. You get the audiobook, Beyond 7 Pillars ebook, and the 7 pillars themselves. So there's 3 downloads that get sent to your inbox. You click the link and go and download those things. Go and check them out. So swolenormousx.com, download your free copy of the 7 pillars. That's your first step. We got a question earlier on Rumble from Sterling. Papa Swolio, how many reps in the tank should you leave for effective overload and set recovery? And what's the best way to know how close you are to that limit? By practice. So when we talk about reps in reserve, that's your perceived exertion. So how close are you, and like the perceived difficulty? If you're doing a new exercise, you're likely to hit that limit a little bit sooner just because it's a new movement. Maybe the mechanical tension's a little bit different because of the type of exercise you're doing or the machine you're doing or the strength curve. But in terms of how many reps, I wouldn't do anything less than 2. So it's hard to gauge 2. It's hard to gauge 1 sometimes. But you don't know what 1 is until you learn what failure is. And task failure, does not mean partial reps until you can't lift another one. Failure is just you attempt the rep and you can't get another one. So that's failure. So once you learn what failure is and that's essentially 0. So 0 RIR means you completed the rep and you wouldn't be able to get another one. Failure means you tried that last rep and you didn't get it. So that's failure. That's what task failure is. So you're not going to know until you actually hit that point. So I do think for people that are just starting out, you have to experiment. You have to push yourself. You want to train intensely. You want to train hard. And you're not going to understand what hard training is until you train hard. And that's why I can train and I know, okay, I probably have 1 more or that's good because I've been training for a long time and I understand what my limits are and I understand what that feeling is. And you don't know what that feeling is until you hit it. So, but it's it's a perceived exertion. It's how close, and that's like, psychological. It's your central nervous system. Once you get towards that limit, you'll know it, and your body will let you know that you only have 1 more or 2 more. And in order to gauge that, you have to know what that end point is. But it's more dangerous if you're doing, let's say, a bench press and you don't have proper support. So you don't want to go to absolute failure if it's going to put you at a high risk. So this is why it's important. And that's why it's beneficial to use things like cables and machines, because you can train with close proximity to failure and it's going to be safer. The last thing you want to do is get stuck under the bar. So if you don't have a spotter or you don't have support racks, that's why a cage is good, a squat rack is good, or a power rack is good, where you can save the support arms, because if you can't get that rep, you put it down, you can kind of wiggle your way out, but you don't drop it on your chest or on your neck. So it's dangerous if you are training by yourself. So you have to be very careful doing that with free weights and such. Sakib, any advice on lower back injury like disc herniations? Depends on what the actual issue is, but mobility, yoga, a lot of times that can be improved with reverse hyperextensions are fantastic. Reverse hypers are great. A reverse hyper machine is great for decompression. Dead hangs are great. You can slowly build back up and practice some light mobility, Jefferson curls, and some of these things. It can be a little bit more complicated if you have existing issues. So you don't want to exacerbate them, but lateral bending is very important, flexion and extension. So yoga, but reverse hypers are great. Reverse hypers are great for spinal decompression. That's what Louis Simmons created, and it really helped him. And he was a famous powerlifter and powerlifting coach. Reverse hypers are great. Okay, let's see. Fessa Arcastion, Casticon. Drop your questions in the comments. Hashtag AskPapaSwolio. Let's see. Papa, give me tips to get started on how to lose weight. Elimination diet. Join us over at swolenormousx.com and start an elimination diet. So you don't want to lose weight. You want to lose fat. You got to be building muscle. Train heavy. Lift heavy. Build muscle. Yep. Louis Simmons of Westside Barbell. Correct. That is correct. Oof, Madon. It's Justin. Papa Swolio. Is it dangerous to squat with tennis shoes? It can. I don't like, look, any of these shoes, tennis shoes, basketball shoes with elevations. I don't like running shoes. You should not be. So yes, it's more dangerous than squatting barefoot. But there's a reason why there are lifting shoes and they're flat on the bottom. The reason is because it gives you more contact with the ground. So, I mean, tennis shoes, I'm assuming you mean running shoes, but cross trainers, they might be a little bit wider box, but they're very narrow. So you want to get some sort of barefoot shoes or lifting shoes. So yeah, if you're using those like Hoka shoes or any kind of running, remember running shoes are designed for straight and they're designed for heel striking, which is fundamentally not how you're supposed to run as a human being. So I would never wear tennis shoes, let alone squat in them. So I don't want to say it's dangerous, but it's just not smart. It's not smart. Easy to roll your ankle. They're not designed for it, and they put your foot and your ankle in a bad position. So get yourself some quality squat shoes or some flat-footed shoes. Zero Shoes makes good ones. Vivo Barefoot. You can elevate your heel, or you just get a quality lifting shoe for squats. You really have to learn how to squat properly, and tennis shoes are not going to help you squat properly, that's for sure. So people do it, but it's definitely not smart. It's not good for your... Wearing them anyway is not good for you. It's not good for your ankles. It's not good for your posture. Lucy AI. Hi, Papa Solia. Woman, 42 years. I'm always starving. Any tips, please? Eat more nutritious food. You're always starving. You're probably not eating enough. You're probably not eating nutritious food. So are you eating steak and eggs? Increase your protein, get more fat in your nutrition, right? Just overall nutrient consumption, electrolytes. You could also be dehydrated. Any tips? Eat more food. Peanut Butter Pat 420. Papa Swole. How important is stretching before and after lifting, and for how long? It's not important. Static stretching is not really beneficial for lifting, especially before. You don't want to do it before. But practicing yoga and mobility and training and doing strength training through a full range of motion, which is mobility training, is important. So you could do a dynamic warm-up. Again, a general warm-up, increasing your body temperature is fine. You can go on a treadmill for 5 minutes, but remember, you want to prepare for the actual activity you're doing. So you don't want to do all this dynamic stretching and all these twists and stuff like that. You still have to prepare for the squat. So getting your body temperature and your local muscle temperature up is great for neural activation of the muscles. But you want to make sure that you're practicing the movement and you're preparing and doing warm-up sets for the actual movement. So there's general and specific warm-up. And the most important thing is to not fatigue yourself. But doing static stretching before lifting is not a wise idea. Mike, whatever happened to Tessie and the busting of the nut? We used to do it. We don't do it anymore. Want to get right into the show. I don't want to be doing 5-10 minutes of other stuff. It might come back on a special occasion, but I doubt it. Tessie's still there. She's still over there. Plus, I had to move stuff out of the office. I haven't reset it because I just don't care. I don't care. I got some stuff over there and potentially redesigning the show and the office at some point. So she has a place. She's by the window, but not a priority. But the nuts are over there. The nuts are over there. Oh, that was it for Instagram questions. Okay. Let's see. What's your bicep size? No idea. Who cares? Who cares? Muhammad, wanted to let you know you are the person who kept me motivated. I would say hardest times in life. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Glad to be here and help you get to the fucking gym. Last chance for questions. Keep it coming. We got overtime for members, and we'll be moving into that shortly. Dun, 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 dun. Let me see. What else we got here? Hog Wild, Papa Sully, just wanted to say thanks for the advice over the past 2 years. Turning 42 next week and kicking the shit out of my 32-year-old self. Turning 42 next week and kicking the shit out of my 32-year-old self. Do you mean 42-year-old self? Or are you saying that you feel 32? Good for you. Or are you turning 32 and that was a typo? Where's the typo at? Where's the typo at? I'll be 42 shortly. So very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Better than 32. Well, that's the goal, right? That's the goal, is to be improving. And of course, we're all dying at some point. There is going to be that decline. The whole point is but there's biological age and there's chronological age. So unfortunately, a lot of people, their biological age is much older than their chronological age. We talked about this recently. We talk about high school reunions and stuff like that. People mention, I'm going to my 20th or 30th high school reunion or college reunion or whatever it is. And I've posed this question before. What's the age where people just start really diverging? And I would say it's probably 30 to 35. You start seeing the difference between people that are taking care of themselves and people that don't. And it just becomes more and more obvious. So when you're 20, you haven't had that much time to do damage to yourself. And some people are morbidly obese by the time they're 20, and I get it. But it's that 1% difference. People that are going to the gym and eating healthy, and everyone's kind of like the same. And then that 1 degree becomes more and more apparent and more obvious as you get into the future. So definitely 40 at least, maybe even 35. You'll see people that are just, they look like they're 45, 50, 55. Oh, I got back pain. I got knee pain. And I'm over 40. You see the memes online. On your 40th birthday, all of a sudden everything hurts. If you trash your body, yeah, everything is going to hurt. If you take care of yourself, you're going to feel a lot better. Most people trash their bodies, so you're accelerating your demise. And lifting is a way to slow it down. It's a way to keep your biological age younger. And starting to lift and starting to take care of yourself at 40 or 45. It's never too late to start, but it's never too late to start, but it gets too late to make as much of a difference. So I don't want to discourage people, but this is why when someone says it's never too late to start, I think it is. It makes it less effective. It's much harder to start at 50. You're not going to be able to undo everything at 50. Starting at 50 is not as good as 45. It's not as good as 40. It's not as good as 35. It's not as good as 25. So don't use that as an excuse. Well, it's never too late. Cool. But it's going to be too late to reverse a lot of those issues. You start seeing the compound effects, just like investing properly in your health, investing in your business, and doing these things. They compound over time. So the difference is more and more exacerbated. Especially when you're 50 or 60, you'll see the people that have been going to the gym for 40 years versus the people, it's not just going to the gym, it's doing this stuff properly. It's what you eat. It's how you sleep. You start to see that even more and more. There are 60-year-olds that can barely fucking move, and there are 60-year-olds that are training all the time and doing fantastic because they take care of themselves. So don't wait. Don't use it as an excuse. Start today. That famous quote, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is now. And that's the straight truth. So people will just make an excuse, or I'll start Monday. I'll start this. How quickly does Monday? I'll start Monday. I'll start next week. Oh, it's July, but I'm going on vacation. I'll start when I get back. Or you know what? It's September, so I'll start on January 1st. And that becomes 5 years and 10 years. There's so many people that listen to the show, or they find my podcast, or they find my content and stuff. Oh, I saw you 5 years ago. Imagine if you started then and stopped fucking around. You're starting today. 5 years. That's a massive percentage of your life. Most people don't live to be 100. People act like 100. I don't know why. I think it's just a flat number. Same reason why people want to lose 50 pounds or 100 pounds. They just pick a flat number, even if it's irrelevant or it's nonsensical. I'm going to lose 100 pounds flat. No one says I want to lose 32 pounds. It's always a flat number. It's 20 pounds, or it's 25, or it's 50, or it's 100. People just pick a flat number. And for some reason, people think that everyone lives to be 100. Everyone goes off 100 years. Well, people are dropping dead in their 50s. And what's the average age now? 76 or something? 76. So technically, based on the average person, I'm more than halfway through. So many people think it's 100. They just go based off 100. because it's a nice flat number, but that's very, very rarely does someone live to be 100 years old. You know? So in other words, give yourself the best chance to live longer. And it doesn't have to be you want to try to put on, and this is why we always talk about lifting weights and building muscle. You want to try to put on muscle, but there's a point where it becomes so much extra work to try to put on. I always say put on as much muscle as possible. The reason why, it's because even if most people are not trying to put on muscle much at all. They're not doing it properly. And even for me, I'm not doing every last thing that I possibly could to put on as much muscle as possible. Could I put on more muscle? Probably. Could I obsess more about my training? I could. But the value that I'm going to get from that is just not really, it doesn't really make much sense. I'm not stepping on stage, so I don't care if like someone asks me, how big are your biceps? I don't give a shit. I used to measure like 20 years ago, but I don't care how big my biceps are. I want to get stronger. I want to challenge myself. But at this point for me, unless I start taking anabolic steroids or something, I'm not really going to get that much bigger for the effort. For me to get like 1% better than where I am now, it's going to take an outsized amount of obsession. And it's just, you know, everyone's ship is leaking, right? Everyone's ship is leaking. So we all have amount of water. It's leaking. I'm trying to put more water in greater than what I'm leaking because we're all breaking down. You're not maintaining muscle. You're either gaining muscle or you're losing muscle. So I'm trying to err on the side of building muscle and trying to get stronger. So to try to put on as much as possible, you look at all these professional bodybuilders who their whole life was trying to put on as much muscle as possible. Dorian Yates, one of the absolute goats, right? Dorian Yates is awesome. He was one of the biggest fucking dudes ever. And he's all deflated now, but he's in his like 60s or 70s and, you know, he's still coherent. He's still into training and he still trains a lot of people. But, you know, you're not going to maintain that. Of course, he had that because of all the juice and stuff that he took. So it's just unrealistic to think you're going to maintain that long term. Can you have muscle? Can you have a good physique? Right. But as you get older, it gets less important for how much muscle you have. It's important for longevity. But as you get older, you want that longevity, but you also don't want to be in fucking pain. You don't want to train so hard and get so big and you don't want to be like Ronnie Coleman, who he can barely move. I know he had some recent health problems. I don't wish anything bad on him. Ronnie Coleman's a GOAT, nice guy and great for the sport of bodybuilding, but broken down, just completely destroyed. You don't want to be destroyed. If you're 60 and 70, you want to be able to get down and play with your grandkids or be able to move or get in and out of a fucking car without having assistance. You want to be able to wipe your own ass. You don't want to be destroyed. So I want to lift heavy and I want to lift hard, but the way I train now, this is why I train differently. And maybe it leads me to not building as much muscle as possible, but I used to just put on tons of weight and go and do lunging down the fucking street, just like Ronnie Coleman. And I used to be able to not walk for a week. And like my goal used to be to beat the shit up out of myself as much as possible. Now the goal is to maximize growth, but minimize fatigue. I don't want to be physically and psychologically exhausted. I want to be able to enjoy my days. I don't want to be crippled. I want to be able to move. So it's really important to not be in pain and not be fucked up. So I'm grateful the fact that I always erred on the side of not getting injured or minimizing my risk of injury. Sure, I've tweaked things and, my quad, or I'll do an exercise and sometimes like, I feel a little tweak. So I back off. And I've been really smart in the way that I train because if I see something or I feel something that's a little bit off, I don't push and be like, oh, fuck it, keep going. I always try to address those things. And if it means that I have a couple of ounces of less muscle, then so be it. It's going to go away anyway. So the most important thing is that I train hard and I take care of myself for longevity. And it's different if you're competing, right? Lacey's here in the chat. If you're competing and you're doing, world's strongest man and woman and strongman competitions, that's different. Like you're putting yourself through competitive training. So the risk of injury is much higher because you're pushing yourself to your limit. So the goal there is to minimize your risk of injury in the off season and training so you can perform at your best, but things happen. When you push yourself hard as an athlete or a competition, this is why CrossFit, every workout's a competition. It's dangerous. So the average person that's not ready for that, that isn't all in on these things, if you're doing these CrossFit things and that's your life and you're doing the competition and that's your profession, so to speak, then okay, that's the path you've chosen. But when you do competitions like professional athletes, even baseball or basketball, people get physically hurt. Why? Because your job is just to push yourself physically as hard as you can for as long as you can. So for the person who's trying to build muscle, the average person that wants to take care of themselves, like for me, I want to perform and I want to do better, and I'm competing with myself. I'm competing, hey, I did this mount for 6 reps last time. Okay. But when I'm lifting weights, I also understand that when I'm doing a certain weight or certain reps, I'm trying to hit a PR, hitting that PR is not going to get me a medal. It's not going to make me more money. It's not going to win me a competition. So the necessity of me to actually push myself to that fucking potentially injury level, it's not as severe. Now you need to push yourself with proximity to failure to build muscle. But you have to understand the risk reward, how hard you train and to what limits you push yourself. I mean, what's that going to get you? Is that going to make a difference in your life for the positive, for the negative? I'm not saying don't be competitive. I'm not saying don't push yourself, but you have to understand what the risk reward is, what you're trying to accomplish, and do it smartly. Because for me, I don't want to train myself to the point where I need to take 3 weeks off because I'm so beat up from my training. I want to be able to do this long term. So whatever split I'm doing, if I can't maintain the split long term, if I can't maintain the volume and the intensity long term, then my programming is bad. It's just my programming. So if I can't maintain a program, if I can't maintain the volume, if I can't maintain the intensity, then it's not right for me. Maybe someone else, maybe whatever I was doing, maybe doing, 2 days on or 3 days on and 1 day off, maybe that's okay for someone who's 20. Maybe that's okay for someone who's 25. Maybe that's okay for someone who's 45. That's just not a different person than me. So you have to figure out what works best for you and what you can maintain long term. But that's the thing. Lacey says we rarely max in training. Competition is another story. You rarely max in training because you max in the competition, and it's high risk. Maxing is high risk. I don't do 1 rep max. And even if you're doing 5 or 6 reps, look, the heavier you lift for your bodybuilding or your strength training, the less you should train to absolute failure. Doing 6 reps to failure is extremely intense on your joints. It's extremely intense on your central nervous system. But doing 6 reps and leaving 1 in the tank or 2 in the tank, it's a big difference. It's a big difference. Mike says there's no need to outdo what your body is capable of. Eventually, everything will break if you put too much pressure on it. Right, and it comes down to the intensity. It comes down to the overload and also your recovery, right, Mike? And again, I'm not saying don't train hard. I'm not saying don't push towards failure, but how often you use failure, how often or how much volume you do and how frequently you're training and your nutrition and your sleep and your goals and your split, all of it matters. So pick something you can be consistent with long term. And if you can be consistent with it, you're going to make the most progress. And then within that paradigm, make subtle changes to get the most results. Oop. Sheena says, earlier today I was working shoulders and I thought I could do another rep, but I couldn't lift it all the way up. There you go. So again, it's about doing better. It's about doing better for yourself, right? It's about challenging yourself and pushing yourself. But just understand the exercise selection matters. So I'm not saying free weights are bad. Free weights are great. But as you guys know, I built out my entire gym and I started getting really into machine training, which I never really did before. I never did a lot of machines before. I wish I used more machines earlier in my training career. but I don't regret it because free weights are fantastic. And I feel like it's a great transition. Not that free weights are bad, but I can customize more my foot position. If you're on a hack squat, you can move your feet up. You can move your feet wider. You can move your feet down. You can change the angle. You can do all sorts of things, and the weight is consistent. Plus, there's supports. So as I've gotten older and as I've lifted more weight, it's a safer way for me to train psychologically, and I don't have to worry so much about all the variables of the free weights. Same thing with a Smith machine. You know, you can change an angle and change your position, and you know the bar is not going anywhere. So not only is it safer, you can put stoppers and you can rack the bar, but I can get angles that feel better on my joints. And as you've been training for 10, 15, 20, I've been training for 25 some odd years, 25, 26 years. There are certain positions and certain things that I prefer over others. There are certain things that if I know I do them in a certain way with my programming, my elbow might start bothering me. Or certain movements where I like doing this a little bit better because my elbow feels better. Why? Is it my genetics? I don't know. Maybe it's over 25 fucking years of, for the first, half of my life, I played baseball and that's my right elbow. So maybe, I was a pitcher and I played outfield and I was throwing all the time with one thing. Maybe that's coming back after all the lifting and all the baseball and all the stuff. Maybe that's a reason. My right elbow is probably a little bit different than my left in terms of bone density and stuff. And plus I'm right-handed, so use your right arm more. It's just sometimes things wear differently and you have to be aware of that. And you have to adjust, and certain movements are going to feel better. So pick an exercise that feels great. Pick a movement. If you do one thing, if you're like, for me, okay, and I've tried doing it. I mean, I have a Smith machine. I have an angled Smith machine, an old school Body Masters one. I love it. And I've done master classes. I've tried to do the JM press and really like it. It bothers my elbow. The way I have to grab, I just don't like doing the JM press on the Smith. It just bothers my elbow. And I'll do a certain way. I'll move my elbows. I kind of feel like I go down. It's like a bink. It feels funky. But I have a decline chest press machine that if I angle, I do it and it always feels great. My elbow never bothers me. So if I want to do a JM press, I do it on that. It's a slight different angle, but my elbow feels great. So I do that one instead. It's that simple. It doesn't mean that Smith machine JM presses are bad. It just means that it just kind of makes my elbow feel funky. And what I have to do to get into it to make it feel good, it's just not worth it for me. It's fucked my elbow up a couple times because I've tried to work around it. I just don't like it. I don't like the grip position. It just doesn't feel optimal for me. And I've learned that by trying it. It doesn't mean it's a bad exercise. Just for me, it's not something that I like. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, Sheena says, don't forget about the years of the piano cock that had to take its toll. Oh, yeah. All that piano cock and just swinging that hog around. It's a lot. It wears. It wears on me. It wears on me. Mike says, I feel like I'm holding up the YouTube channel by myself since no one's chatting here. You are, Mike. Mike's holding it down. It's better to watch on Rumble. Fuck YouTube. YouTube sucks. Big old donkey balls. YouTube's the first thing that we're going to be ditching. We'll be, if we get flagged on YouTube, that's why I always prioritize Rumble, because I don't trust YouTube to keep the channel around. The Swolenormous channel, go check that out. Is a YouTube video up? We have a new YouTube video. I did a video on the Jennifer Love Hewitt fat thing. And people are going to get offended because I think she got fat. However, my opinions on that doesn't mean she's a bad mom. Doesn't mean that she's ugly. But yeah, based on that dress and that hair, she looked rough. Take care of yourself. So, looking forward to getting a lot of people, oh my God, you're such a meanie. Let them cry. Let them weep. All right, drop some more questions. We're live on Instagram.
Stop whining.
Drop the questions. Mark says, I just got caught up on the YouTube videos. Love the coffee one. Yeah, I don't know if the new one is up. It should be up, or if it's not up, it's going to be up momentarily. Mike, you make the jump to Rumble. You can comment whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. AJ Max, random question. How many times do you eat in a day? Depends on if you include shakes and coffee. I put collagen in my coffee. I have electrolytes and protein first thing in the morning. Might have some yogurt after this. So I don't know if I count those as meals. It depends. But usually once or twice with maybe like some liquid stuff in between or some yogurt, smaller meals. But I'm not eating 4 or 5 times a day. I don't do that. I think most people would benefit from, I don't like stuffing my face anymore. I try not to. But more carbohydrates makes me feel better. I don't stuff my face. I don't focus on overdoing protein anymore. But again, if you still need enough protein, but it's not really a gram per pound of body weight. Usually kind of said that just because most people don't get enough, so it's a decent goal, but it's probably more towards like 0.8 grams per pound. So if do the math. What's 0.8 times 200? Can someone do that? So if you're 200 pounds, and remember, that's because it's not all lean mass. If you're 200 pounds, that's bone and fat and water. And really, when you're eating food, you're not eating for your overall weight. Understand that. It's about your energy expenditure. So most people are eating way too much because you're not trying to maintain your fat. You don't need to maintain your water in that sense. Yeah, 160 grams, that's not hard to hit. If you have a protein shake that's 30 or 40 grams and you eat 2 meals, you have 1 meal of eggs and you have like a steak, that's pretty much 160 probably. It's really not that hard to hit 150, 160 or something like that. But it depends. It depends. And again, people eat more protein with the concept that if I stuff more protein in my face, I'm going to build more muscle. No, you're going to build muscle because you're sending the proper signals to your muscles and you're progressively overloading them. Now, if your strength is going down, it's likely you're training, or you might not be eating enough carbs. You might not be eating enough carbs. You might not be eating enough calories. You might not be eating enough protein. So that's why the best way to see if you're gaining muscle is your strength. If your strength is not improving, and if you start to cut down on calories and stuff, that can impact your strength training if you do it too quickly and if you cut too much. Nick says, I'm enjoying a nice juicy ribeye steak cooked in bacon grease and rosemary. God damn, now I'm hungry. I'm hard, man. I'm chubbed. I have a question in the Daily Swole. It's too much to type here. Come on, Lacey. Don't be a puss. Or Lacey, you can post it. You can post it. Why don't you post it in the app, Lacey? Post it in the apps in the community section. If you post it up now and you type it out long, maybe I can get to it quick. Luis, what do I know about bipolar disorder? Well, it depends on what you mean. Most of these disorders are overdiagnosed, and it usually comes down to lifestyle habits. But there are some serious issues that people have that are genetic. But don't underestimate the impact of your environment and your lifestyle habits with your mental health either. Rona Wood says, everyone assumes carbs are bread and pasta. Yeah, and bread and pasta are garbage in this country. Potatoes, white rice, maple syrup, raw honey, fruit. Let's go. Yeah, I prefer you guys not to, the Daily Swole chat, I'm not going to see that right now in Telegram. We'll load it up, but it's better to post up in the community section because then it's there and it can be addressed and other people can see your question and it's there. It's there for eternity. No, carbs are not the enemy. Carbs are definitely not the enemy. Not for strength training. Not for strength training. No way, dog. Soy Daddy, well, your screen name says a lot, should be spending $300 a month to go to the gym if it helps with my motivation. Do whatever you need. If you can afford $300 a month for a gym, if you're going to use it, fine. I will say I don't know why what gym are you going to that costs $300 a month? I will say if you spend $300, if a gym charges that much, you're probably not going to get riffraff. You're not going to have high school broccoli hairs in there. You're not going to have people fucking around. You're probably going to have nicer equipment. It's probably going to be less busy. That's the benefit of paying a premium for a higher end gym. It's definitely a great option. If you're serious about your training and you don't want to be bothered, it's better to go to that. I mean, a $300 a month gym is not going to be slammed. It depends. If you're in Equinox in a really popular area, yeah, you might get, but usually that's going to be busy at 9, 10 o'clock after the moms drop off their kids from school, you know. The cardio machines will be busy. But also, that's another reason why people do personal training. If they're spending the money, they're not going to skip. So if you're spending $300 a month and that's the inspiration for you to be like, well, I'm not going to waste it, I'm going to go, then fucking do it. If you can afford it, then fucking do it. A lot of people don't have the ability to spend that much for a gym, so it's up to you. Yeah, we're trying to fix that. The app tells me to log back in. Sometimes it doesn't load. I get that too. So I'm trying to figure it out because it pisses me off. Just close it out and open it back up. It usually comes right back the second time you open it. For some reason, the first time, sometimes it doesn't load. Just exit out and come back in. You don't have to log back in. Just close the app and open it up again. Even if it happens twice, I apologize. It's not me. I don't know. I'm trying to get them to fix that and figure it out. So we're working on that. Michelle says, I ain't going to lie. I went to the most expensive gym at first because if I was spending the money, I was going. Again. Lacey says, is this your question? I'm in a carnivore group and they were talking about sunscreen. Then sunglasses got brought up. They are stating we shouldn't wear sunglasses because it's how your body knows how to make vitamin D. Yeah, I don't wear sunglasses. I'm wearing this now. I never wear sunglasses outside. We talk about that a lot. You never heard that? We talk about this all the time here. Yeah, the photoreceptors in your eyes. For one thing, seed oils are rancid. They're industrial waste products. So they build up in your skin and they can lead towards like people burning more easily. Absolutely. And your eyes, that's why you want to get outside and get sun on your eyes, and your skin and your eyes and your photoreceptors in your eyes let your body know to produce melanin. If you're wearing sunglasses and you're blocking UV light, then your body thinks it's in the shade. The same reason why a lot of times people that wear shirts a lot and, they have, sun on their arms and their neck, and they have like nice brown skin, and in their back they have a bunch of moles and spots everywhere. A lot of times that's because your body is creating melanin. It gets concentrated and your body is producing melanin and you're not getting sun all over your body. So your body gets confused. Same thing with sunglasses. I don't wear them. We talk about that all the time. What do you guys, we literally talk about not wearing sunglasses all the time. So yeah, I agree with that. And also we talk about getting sun. Look, if you go back in time, right? Our ancestors weren't outside laying in at 12 noon at the hottest point. If you're out there at 12 or 1 o'clock cooking, most of our people that are working outside and doing all that shit, they're usually getting shade at the hottest point of the day. Doesn't mean you can't get, sun, but just be mindful, and you have to build up to that. Get early morning sun or late afternoon sun. The most important times to get sun on your eyes and go touch grass is like when you first wake up, early morning sun, and then evening sun, so your body can set the circadian rhythm. All the artificial lights and fluorescent lights and LEDs and stuff is terrible for our bodies. Space Shuttle Door Gunner, I stopped wearing sunglasses and have noticed I don't burn as easily as I used to. Nick Pompasuolio, do you see Jeff Nippard making that video proving that fake natties are actual natty with a surprise blood test? No. If you're a fake natty, then you're not natty. So what are we talking about here? Or they're off cycle when you do that. Again, also, if you're saying that you're natty in your profile, then usually you're not. You're saying it because you're compensating. And also, what do people determine natty? People take SARMs, they take all these testosterone boosters and all this stuff, and psychologically they convince themselves that they're doing it naturally, and people lie. People lie all the time. And also, when you see stuff online, you see people training. Like if I do a video, let's say I do 2 different videos, right? I'll spit, go to the fucking gym. If I do a workout and I was in the sauna, or I did a workout and I have a sick pump and then I put on a tank and I'm like, go to the fucking gym. My veins are popping out. It's hot. It's bright. It's sunny. I look jacked. If I just go out there and I do a video when I didn't work out, I'm not going to look as vascular. I'm not going to look as pumped because I'm not doing. So when you're taking a video in the gym, these guys take their shirt off and they're taking a video in the gym mirror with certain down lighting or stuff like that. You take a video in the gym, or I'm training. Of course I look more pumped and jacked. My body is filled with, my muscles are just pumped with blood. Most of the blood in your body goes to your muscles if you're training hard. Maine Marshall, I saw Nippert being negative about people who build their diet around steak and eggs daily. Yeah, well, when you're obsessed with science-based and you need a double-blind study that's, blah, 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 you get blinded to logic and common sense also. So I haven't seen that, but from what you said, obviously it's nonsense. Ellie says, I get sunrise light when I let my dogs and chickens out. Then at lunchtime, I nap or work out in the sun. I don't burn, just tan nicely. Yeah, I'm not saying you go outside, get more sun the sack, sun the nips. I'm not saying go outside at, 12 to 2 and just roast and burn to shit. No, go and get sun. Go touch some grass. You don't have to lay there and tan. Just go outside and get some sun. If I'm laying there and tanning, I'm doing like 20 minutes or so. I'll lay on my back, I'll lay on my stomach, and then I'll lay on my side. I'm like, all right, I'm good. It's hot as fuck. Don't burn yourself. Just go get sun. And I'm in Florida and we're in the summer and I don't burn. I will burn if I'm laying out there for like 3 or 4 hours. But then like you're trying to burn, I'll be sore and I'll get hurt if I train for 3 or 4 hours. So it's like, don't do those types of things to excess, but getting sun just means go outside and be a human. Don't go outside with a hat and with a shirt and with pants on and like, hey, I'm getting sun on my wrists. I'm getting sun on the side of my neck. No, that's not what getting sun means. Lacey, it's a good question. Why is it considered a flex to be natty? I think because there's this idea that if you're natural, you did it on your own because anabolic steroids help tremendously. And I think it also comes from so many people pretending like they're not. So the problem with being, online, most of the people that say they're not, or they're not taking anything, they lie. So people see online, they see anyone that has muscle. People in the comments all the time are like, dude, you're taking juice. These are people that don't know what it looks like when someone's taking juice. If I was taking juice, you wouldn't have to ask me, like, are you natty? Like, you would know that I'm not. It would be night and day. But most people just don't understand what the human body can do. And anyone that has results that's better than them, they assume someone's taking something. But people also dramatically underestimate how much and how often and how many people take something. And just because you take something doesn't mean you're going to look muscular and symmetrical and shredded. So, it's like anyone else virtue signaling, right? I'm natural. So they use that as a flex, right? I'm vegan. I'm a good person because I'm not eating animals. I'm saving the fucking environment. Or I'm natty. 19-year-old natty. It's like, yeah, you're also 19-year-old natty. You've barely been alive. Cool. It's like 15 years old natty. Okay. Sure. And I think it's because, let's say I was saying, 42, and I'm on, and people the problem is, if I was doing, this is why people, plant their flag with one way or another. But if I said, yeah, let's say I said I was doing, let's say I was doing TRT or something, then everyone would be like, well, it's easier for you. This guy's taking TRT. They're not going to attribute, it kind of washes away for some reason. It washes away it would wash away in some people's minds the 25 years as if I didn't have a physique and I didn't train hard for 25 years. So I don't know. Who cares? I think it also just comes down to people giving a shit about what people think. I don't care if people think I'm natty or if I'm natural. I am, but I don't care if someone thinks I'm taking juice. It's a compliment. That means I'm doing things right. They think I'm taking something. Okay. They can think whatever they want. What someone thinks is none of my business. I'll still tell the truth, but I'm not here to convince anyone. But I'll say it if I am. I don't know why people would lie. I'd be like, yeah, I just started TRT and I like it or I don't like it. That's why I don't really speak much about it, because I don't have personal experience. Hey, Papa Swole, what do you think about SARMs? I think people take them. I don't know if they're great or not. I don't have any personal experience. I'm considering it, but I don't know. I don't know if the health benefits, I don't know if the risks, I don't know. I'm hesitant. Once you start, you kind of stay on it. I'm at that point, though, where it might actually make a big difference. It might be a smart decision, because I'm going to be 42. This is like the time where it could benefit me tremendously. I don't want to like waste away and just be, I'd like to kind of fill in the gap. Yeah, that's it too. Mike. It's about selling products. They want you to believe they got that jacked and shredded on creatine. A lot of times people are pushing a product, like a Liver King, right? If you take these pills, if you eat raw liver, you're going to be like this. This guy is taking tons and tons and tons and tons of shit. Now, raw liver is great, but that's not going to help you look like that. I know, because I eat raw liver. So it's not like it does that. Nick says, to be honest, I wouldn't give a single fuck if someone is honest about taking PEDs. It's why they're clearly lying to sell bullshit programs and products. Right. So example, if I started taking TRT, that wouldn't discount the 90-day dash or maximum swole or any of the other stuff. They get a comment, well, it's easy for you to say you're taking something. I mean, I have an abundance of evidence of what I looked like before. So when I do, or if I do, I don't know. Yes. Cerny says, who the hell wants to look like Liver King? And this is a good point. Mark says, even creatine is looked at as some miracle drug. Well, that's the thing. Some people consider creatine as being not natural, right? So if you take creatine, some people's standards is you're taking any supplement, you're not natural. It's like, bro. Right? So like, are you a purist? If you take creatine, you're not natural. That's fucking stupid. Right? That's ridiculous. But some people, right? How are you defining natural? SARMs, peptides, there's a lot of things that are kind of, it's a gray area as to what you are. When do I think a male should get their testosterone checked? I guess if you feel like you need to. I've been meaning to do that. I need to do some blood work soon. So I'm probably past the point where you should probably get stuff checked out, but I might do that. I feel like it's probably about time to at least see what's going on and then make some decisions based on that. But yeah, it's more sinister if you're taking something and you're pretending like you take your supplements or whatever you're pushing, and that's the reason why. It's like, well, then you're a lying piece of shit. All right, let's move on. If you're watching on Instagram, we're live on Rumble and YouTube, and then we got to go into overtime. So thanks for being here. Check us out, swolenormousx.com. We got merch, buy one, get one 50% off, papaswole.com. Check the link in bio. Thanks for watching. Let's get into a throwback, and then we are going to Let's do a throwback, and then we're going to go into overtime. Actually, we're going to do the Swole card. Do I have the Swole card? Sick fucking gains? Hold on a second. Let's see what we got here. Boom, boom, boom. I'll put this up on the screen for a second. Let's see here. We got new fanny packs. We got new fanny packs. We got new merch. Where's this card? Sick fucking gains. I don't even have it. Let's see. Let's gotta do the card. It fell on the ground. What? I'm gonna do a fresh one. It's easier than. Where the fuck did it go? Oh, I see it. It's like under the leg of my desk. Holy shit. I was like, I could have sworn I did the Falcon did the card. Did you knock that shit over, bro? You did, didn't you? There we go. All right. Well. All right. That one's for that card's for the boys. That card's for the boys. We'll do another one. That's like under there. I'm not gonna go pick it up. That's under there. You heard the marker, yeah, because I had to fucking do another one. All right. Here we go. Let's see. Sick fucking gains. That's a nice one. There you go. Thank you, Falcon. It's a beaut. It's gorgeous. It's not a utility bag. No, no one's winning 2 cards. All right, let's give away the Swole card. Then we'll do a throwback, and then we're going to go into overtime. Let me load up. Oh, the Telegram is already open. I thought it was. Okay, boom, boom. All right, cool. So the Telegram is up. So if you're switching over, you can start getting in there. We'll have the throwbacks. We got some new-ish. Let's see. Mike says, I watched a video of a guy who was on TRT. He said a downside of it is once you're on it, you become dependent on the medical system. I've considered it as well, but it will be if it's neat. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. Once you start taking that shit, it's like, you know, and then what happens if there's limitations? What happens if there's supply chain shocks and supply? I mean, I'm glad I'm in Florida. I'm in Florida, so Florida is like Florida is probably the TRT capital of the world. You know, all the older people in Boca and West Palm and shit like that. So there's a lot of anti-aging clinics and things like here, but to get dependent on having, it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's why it's like I'm not rushing into it. Plus, there are risks and side effects. And I think it's probably more benign, but I guess it depends on genetics and maybe you have some other risk factors. But, you know, also when you're injecting, it's like, what else is in there? Is everything in there 100%? Is there any other impurities or metals or you're sticking metal, like the needle, you're sticking metal in your arm. Like you're thinking none of that is breaking off. None of that is getting into your body. Even microscopically. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, new fanny packs. So we got fanny packs. We got zip hoodies. So we got a bunch of new stuff and we're going to have a bunch of different designs with different things on the lapel. So it's going to be fire. So check it out, man. Check it out, man. Oh, that's a good thumbnail. So we're going to have we have a new video. We have a new video of the Jennifer Love Hewitt situation. Here's the thumb. We got that coming up. Look at that. AI is goated. Look at that. Got the Swole Rats merch. I know what Jennifer Love Hewitt ate last summer. Shit. Oh, people are going to cry about that one. Because they're fat and they want to justify their obesity. She looks great the way she is. Does she? Does she though? Okay. Let's see what we got here. Sick fucking gains. Let's give away the Swole card. Falcon, take it away. Let's go. So let's go. Oh my God. Right. That's not fair. That's not fair. Right on it. But she's here. Lacey, Miss Carrots. God damn it. Go fuck yourself with those carrots. But you won today's Swole card, so it's all good.
Congratulations!
God dang. Damn. All right, Lacey, congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3360 in the subject or mailing address in the body of the email. Carl is not going to be happy. How? You can't the spamming of the chat. I landed right on it too. So it is what it is. Lacey dropped it a few times. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right. Congratulations, Lacey. Lacey to the main stage. Lacey to the champagne room. Lacey. Bum, 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 bum. You got to pump it up. Don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up. Let's see. Mark says, shit, I didn't even think about the medical system. Yeah, I hate it's not a medical system. It's a sick care system. I'm just really hesitant about getting dependent on anything. And considering supply chain, other issues, and just the other things I was mentioning about, not sure. Not sure. There is something just to be said for aging gracefully, and I don't know. But again, I think I got some time, and you know. And here's the thing, I'll get my shit checked. But I mean, what else am I going to be doing? I'm not going to change. I'm going to be eating the same stuff. Like, I'm kind of doing everything. I'm doing everything that I would do to improve my testosterone maximally, right? So it's not like, oh, you have low testosterone, you need to improve your nutrition. Like, I'm eating steak, I'm getting sun, I'm eating eggs, I'm taking all this. I mean, I'm doing the stuff that's going to put me in a great position. So I'm not sure. I don't know what I would do differently. But anyway, Cerny says, if you feel fine, don't worry about it right now. You know, but then you also wonder, it's like, okay, I am getting older. Or is it the sleep? You know, maybe I didn't get great sleep or whatever it is. You know, and sometimes it's splashing some cold water in your face. Like, oh, I feel great. Or go out and get sun a little bit. I'm like, it feels awesome. So, you know, aging gracefully. We'll talk to Cerny about that. She knows. All right, let's do a throwback, and then we will get into overtime. Here we go. Throwback time.
Why am I so triggered by weight loss posts?
Probably because you're so fat.
People making posts about weight loss, but trying to hide the fact that it's a post about weight loss.
Who's doing that? Making posts about weight loss, but hiding the fact that it's about weight loss.
And I'm confident and worthy, and I have such a strong relationship with my body, and I have no interest in losing weight or dieting.
Because you're a fat loser.
Why? You don't want to be healthy? You want to be healthy and more attractive and more capable and more mobile? Okay. You guys see the pattern? This is why we play these videos. What's with when I'm confident and worthy? Are you so confident and that you have to make videos justifying your behavior to stay fat?
I have been beating myself up for probably more than 6 months just because of the recent publicity that weight loss has had. Truly, it's like weight loss is having a moment.
What? You mean Ozempic and stuff?
Stop consuming this shit. You do not need to lose weight. You do not need to cave into diet culture.
It's not diet culture. It's, hey, being healthy and exercising and not eating garbage. It's really not that complicated, and it's not hard. This is why these people cope so hard to try to stay this way, because it's so fucking easy to not be morbidly obese. Mark says she probably thinks stairs are a hate crime. Jesus Christ.
Hi, puppy.
Probably. She probably does. All right, let's get into overtime. Fam, are you ready? Let's fucking get up there. Yay.
Finish him.
All right, fam. You can get access to all the amazing swolenormousx.com, and another announcement. The weekend episodes are going to be exclusively for members. So we got some Swoleosophy, some weekend action for the podcast, you'll see that pop up in Swole TV. So weekend episodes tomorrow and Sunday will be exclusively for members in the Swolenormous app. Join us, swolenormousx.com. And of course, we'll be back on Monday. So thanks for being here. Overtime starts right now, and we will get that in Swole TV also. So we got some throwback DWGs and new Balls Deep edits. Let's head into OT. And thanks for being here. Appreciate you, Beaches. We will see you over in the OTZ, my kneesies. Peace, McGee's, deuce, magoose, ya boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
Hey.